property for?
Right.
And am I okay with that number?
Right.
And if it's 75% is your comfort level, if it's 80, if it's 60, whatever it is, you wanna know that, you know, heck, I'd be happy to own the property at that number, so, you know, go ahead and screw up, you know? Or, you know, I don't wanna own the property, but I wanna make sure that my money gets back to me. So therefore, I know that if I'm lending at 70% or 75 or 60 or 80, whatever it is that you're comfortable with, that you know you can fire sale the property, get it sold, done. Pay a commission. I got enough money to pay a commission, I got enough money that, you know, pay the closing costs, and I fire sale the property, and, you know, and I got my money back, you know, if all goes to hell in a handbasket. So that, I mean, that's the thing, like, you know, you don't wanna lend, you know, 100% loan to value, you don't have any room to do anything, you don't wanna lend 90, you don't
Most
wanna
of your
lend 80,
stuff
yeah.
is between 65 and 75.
65 to 75, I mean, we buy it right, so, I mean, I'm talking rehab, acquisition, all that
Cost
stuff,
of
yeah.
the acquisition of property.
And 75 is on the high end, I've done that rarely.
Plus, I like to take the more personal end, instead of just talking about the rates or the LTVs of the deal. We like to do business with private lenders who know us, like us, trust us, okay? And how do you get to know us, like us, trust us? Hang around with us. We're out looking at real estate all day long, come for a ride with us. We do seminars all the time, come out and see us speak. Get to read my book. When you read somebody's book, guess what happens? What's a book? It's like a brain dump. Everything that they know goes into the book. Read the book and you'll understand how my mind works and what we're doing and why we're doing it and where we're trying to go with it. And you come out and listen to people talk, you watch a web TV show, things like that. I tell people, get to know me. Figure out everything I'm doing, I'm putting it right out there.
The book only goes back 20 years.
Yeah.
You can't read about his high school antics.
The
It's
point
scary
is,
enough.
Yeah, it's just scary.
the point is that you know, we want people to know us because we know what the hell we're doing and we're having fun doing it and we're making tremendous deals. It's another thing I like to tell people, you know, here's a piece of real estate. If it's a really strong deal, doesn't that make the private lender feel much more comfortable? Isn't he in a much more safe environment? If the deal has $50,000-$60,000 in equity above the amount of loan, so you know, I like to look at the personal end of it more.
And the other side is too, is like we have different private investors that are more comfortable in different areas. So I mean, that's the thing, like we have one lady that's like basically says, you know, Phil lives in Warminster and she goes over to his house, so she sees like the houses around there and she goes, I wanna be around here. Now we bring her a shell in Philly, she goes, oh, I want that. Now there's other people that say, look, I understand real estate, I understand the numbers make sense, you know, I don't care if it's in, you know, I don't care if it, you know, I've just bought a house in Florida. Now, my private investors in here don't necessarily want a loan down there in Florida. So then, you know, I went to a private investor and I said, hey, I got some retail stores, would you give me a loan on it? And he writes a check, and who does this check out to? He goes, you know, something Coast Title Company. He goes, why did I send it to them? Why aren't you using your normal title attorney? He goes, this is a house in Florida. Oh, you give me a lien up here so you can go buy the house in Florida. Yeah. And he goes, I'm cool with that. He's like, I don't care what you do with the money, I got a good lien, you know? So I mean, you know, you make it work. I mean, he knew, you know, he basically said, I don't want to mortgage down in Florida because I don't want to have to take that property back. Well, he's willing to take my retail stores back if he had to, you know? So that's kind of so you just make it work. You have to, you know, real estate is kind of like, you know, it's, you have to move the pieces around to make a smart play, you know? You can't, it's not just like, you know, you know, we make an offer on houses and we know, like, look, at these numbers, investors are very happy because it's a safe deal. And that's what we, you know, the biggest thing that lets us know the deal's not safe is we go to the lender and say, no way, I'm not lending on that. It's like we look at the numbers and geez,
Can I ask the Entrust comma if I got the new
Comma plan.
Whatever.
Comma
okay.
plan.
Thank you.
And I think that's you, right?
Yep.
What are your lenders or your customers? Have you noticed a shift in the way they're thinking about investments? What are some of the things that they're doing now? Are you noticing a huge uplift in the amount of people moving in self-directed IRAs? Are they then investing in gold and businesses, or are they more apt for real estate?
The number of accounts we're having is pretty much the same going through, which surprises me. We had a whole bunch of people come in when the market crashed. We had more people come in when it hit 10,000. And we had more people come in at 12,000. They said, I almost got all my money back, but I'm scared of the market. Now, what are they investing in? Yeah, there's a lot more people investing in gold today than there was 5 years ago. And people are saying, well, isn't gold at its height? And then, you know, I heard somebody say tonight, every time they print money, gold goes up, right? I mean, that's just a simple, right? Every time they print money, gas goes up, right? And every time they print money, the value of your dollar in your pocket goes down because there's more of them out there for the same amount of things to buy. Now, America has always been a country that sees voids and then figures out a way to fill it. I don't wanna make everybody turn around and move up here. So, the other thing that we see a lot of people doing today is lending, right? Because banks aren't there. How much are you getting on a CD? I mean, I almost laughed and started choking when he says, oh, we're paying people 3 times what CD rates are. Oh, geez, isn't he great? What's a CD rate? Anybody know?
3 years, 1 year.
3 years, 3%? I'd like to see that.
That's all.
Okay.
It's 0.3.
2.4 was the highest with Ally Bank. Last time I looked, it might have been a week or 2 ago.
Members
For
for
what?
how long?
5 years.
Yeah, long
5
run.
years. 2.8 high for 5 years, okay?
What's he doing?
What's what?
There's some banks that are really hungry that are
You get them to, man, we look at that every single day, okay? Yeah, I mean, you know, and some are business, some are personal, but you will see some people say, oh yeah, you know, we got a 4% CD, up to $2,000. Right? Yeah, up to 2,000, right? So you get a $2,000 CD for 4%. So I mean, you know, there's a little trickery out there and all that other stuff, or it's, you know, 4% for the first month.
If you guys wanna know what CDs are, write this down. I made you know how you can take a long URL and shorten it down? So I made a short URL, bit.ly. It's a website, it goes right to bank rates, Philadelphia CD rates. It's bit.ly, bit.ly / Philly CDs. If you write bit.ly / Philly CDs, it takes you right to the page that shows you CD rates. It's just something
What are they?
just something I created. Yeah, Ally Bank is the highest at 2.4
For what, 5 years?
for 5-year CD. Well, that's what I'm based on.
Yeah.
Notes are based on 5-year.
Yeah, well, right, so he's real generous, right? He's gonna give him 7.5% 3 times.
Yeah, we do 8.
Well, that's what I mean, but you sit there and say 3 times the CD rate, right? And I'm going, you know, so, but I mean, that's still, you know, 7%, anything under 7% for my whole life was great. And I was with you, my first loan was 20% on my house.
You're talking about mortgage rates?
Mortgage rates, yeah, back in 1980, right? I'm launching Rockets County Space Center, just snot-nosed kid out of school. Yeah, I'd like to get a mortgage, buy this house, okay. Yeah, you got it, okay, you know, I'm gonna leave work early, I got a mortgage. Get down there, right? 19 or 20%, and I said, I can't pay that. And she goes, no, you can, we figured it out for you. You know, and gave me the paper. So, I mean, I understand that part of it. But back to your point, there's people that will do long-term loans at 7-8%, and then we have people that are borrowing money and
10,
get
12 short-term
10, 12 for rehab for less than a year.
Yep.
And then other people that, you know, are just breaking into the market. I see some at 18%. I saw one today at 58%, and we gotta go back and look at that.
I know a guy that does, like on some longer term stuff, he'll do 10, he'll do 5 and 5. So 5 interest payments and 5 in accrued. So it's kind of like, he kind of takes the appreciation.
Yeah, you always got something else going on, you know, I mean,
No, this is-
I'm with Phil, but I mean, you know, if you wanna see.
Shaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, you can go out there and you can find all kinds of different deals that are out there, but from our aspect, there's a lot of loaning going on, there's people buying real estate, and there's gold, there's still some private, you know, placements that are out there, but I think.
Well, Kobe's at 1.06.
Well, yeah, well, you gotta look at all these people that bought CDs back in 2005, they got 5-year CDs, cause that seems to be a nice round thing, right? What were the CD rates back then?
You're at 5.
6, 7, 5, 6, 7, right? And if they can only get 2% now, their income's getting cut by 60%, right? They're going from 5 to 2% or 6 to 2.5, right? Well, I mean, no, they know that.
No, but I mean,
Right.
the people that are coming off of those high
Oh,
CD
yeah,
rates,
right, they don't know where to go, so now they're out there, right? People are beating the bushes, and there's nothing to get people excited about doing something else than when their income is hurting. We gotta do something else, you know, we were fat, dumb, and happy here, and, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, they think they're just gonna roll over to CD. right? And then they go into the bank and they go,
And they do
well,
roll over.
well, sometimes it just rolls over, yeah, and they.
No,
they
no,
go,
I mean, the people
yeah.
roll over at that point.
Yeah, well, right, so they start looking for the other things to do, go ahead.
Yeah, what is the difference typically in the rates for non-recourse loans and?
No difference.
Really?
Yeah, they're pretty close the same. Yeah, I mean, the banks that do non-recourse for IRAs like them.
Okay.
The
For the
property,
most part.
you know, they're typically, I mean, the kind of loans with the private money loans that we do are property-based loans. I mean, obviously, it's based on the people knowing us, but it's also property-based loans. They wanna know, what's the collateral I'm gonna get, and how do I get my money back, you know?
Okay.
Right? 6% of the stuff gets deficiency notices against foreclosures, right? Half the banks don't understand this, right? They're still saying we don't do non-recourse loans. So you gotta get somebody high up there, right?
Okay.
But that's all they get is 6% of the stuff they foreclose on gets deficiency notices put against them. If somebody's losing their house, the one they're living in, right? What do you think they got, what do you think the chances of them having any money is?
They lose their own personal residence.
Yeah, the last thing you're gonna lose, right, you're gonna lose your investment stuff and you're gonna lose everything else. Last place you're gonna do is have your kids out there and be living in a car or a tent, right? So when people get down to that point, they're, you know, that's all the banks do, so that's why they're looking more on the strength of the deal. And I like Phil's thing where he said, you know, look at every single deal individually and does it make sense? And that's what the non-recourse people do because they're not doing that.
Okay.
All right,
I
sorry.
mean, I try not to get into too many conversations about, you know, because in my opinion, every deal has a life of its own, okay? If you know us, you like us, you trust us, we have a killer deal, and we know you, we'll let you know about it, maybe, right? And, you know, depends on its relationships, and then everything can be worked out, okay? We figure out ways to make every deal work, we have to. We wanna keep making deals, and we wanna keep moving on with more and more deals. So it's getting late, let me wrap up real quick with what I'm doing here. We got a new company coming out, we opened up our own real estate brokerage called Realty Mark.
This month?
And it'll be open the end of the month. Jeremy and I are the owners of this. It's gonna be on 309, about 3 miles above in Montgomeryville Mall. And if you are an agent, it's $100 a month and you get to keep 100% of your commission. So you can ask us about it later and we'll maybe invite you to the grand opening.
Is that the best you can do, 100%?
Yeah, it's the best I can do is 100%. And you know what, I've had a.
Where's the office, Hallmark?
Yeah, Line Lexington.
Line Lexington.
Right across from Zoto's Diner, the first office. Well,
So, yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm on the radio, on 97.5, not at the moment I'm not, but I'm gonna be back on there having a real estate show on, it's 97.5. And if you sign up for my web TV show, I'll let you know when I'm gonna be back on there. And you know, I have business cards with me tonight. I hope everybody takes one of mine, and I hope I can get one of yours. Let's keep in touch. I answer my phone all the time. I love to talk real estate. I'm addicted to real estate. Call me late at night. I'm sitting on looking for deals, and so you know, stay in touch with me. Let's crush it, because I don't care if you work with us, you work with someone else, man. This is the greatest time you could ever dream of. And whatever it is that you're doing, I hope you're making a lot of money at it, because you're leaving gold in the street right now in the real estate business. I'm very excited about the opportunity I see. I truly believe that the deals I'm gonna make in 2011, 2012, and 2013 are gonna be all the deals I'll ever need to carry me to the grave, okay? And I'm working very hard, I'm working a lot of hours, but I don't have any stress. I'm doing something I love. And unless I look in the mirror and scream at myself, there's really not anybody putting pressure on me.
it's like
Yeah.
my mentors always talked about the savings and loans crash. I mean, I wasn't part of that, but they said, man, remember the deals we got back then? I mean, I think that this is, from what they're telling me about that time, I think this is even unprecedented with interest rates as low as they are, you know?
Who remembers RTC?
RTC, that's what I meant to say,
Sure.
RTC.
Yeah, now everybody's showing their age.
Yeah.
That's what Jack Miller used to say, man, remember those RTC days? That was phenomenal, scooping them up.
So, I mean, I'm very, very excited about where I see these next few years going. And one of the reasons that I'm cautious about not doing the commercial deals that we talked about earlier this evening is because, does it make a lot of sense to spend millions of dollars on some big deal where you're risking your neck when you can pick up $1 million worth of real estate with 4 $250,000 houses. Maybe it takes you 6 weeks to find those deals. Maybe it takes you 8, maybe it takes you 10. Who cares? It's $1 million worth of real estate in 10 weeks. You just keep going. You keep going. Acquire. Get busy buying.
The other thing, I mean, if you guys are looking for private lenders, I mean, what easier investment, I think, to understand is a house. I mean, most likely the person, if they have money, lazy money sitting on the sidelines, looking for a place to go, they understand a house. They can go up and kick the bricks. They probably live in one. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a house. This is the collateral, you know? Versus like, hey, we have these, you know, rolling, drip, you know, cross-collateralized, you know, all this other junk, you know? What's my investment? A house.
So is anybody here addicted yet?
Was this helpful tonight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have a hand for Pam Jones. How many people are new to the academy? First time here? Okay.
This is a little family picture of mine. If anybody would like to get a copy of my book, they're $20.